Hello everyone, and now welcome to my first Malifaux battle report. It's first attempt at it. I'm probably going to do it a bit different in the future, but we'll see how this goes. I'm playing against a good friend of mine, Alex, at Selwig in South East London. I'm going to do a video on that very soon. It's a 30 Soul Stones encounter. I'm playing the Resurrectionist Nicodeme crew, and Alex is playing the McMorning crew, with a few alterations here and there, but I'll go through them as they come up. Strategies we pulled: a turf war. Schemes I've got a line in the sand and entourage. I can't remember what the other scheme that Alex had, but he definitely had line in the sand. Right, so we flipped flank deployment, and I'm set up down in the bottom right, and Alex is set up top left. Now the slight differences I've got two punk zombies, Mortimer, and a flesh construct in there. Alex basically has the normal box set, so nothing new there really. To start off with, we're basically heading both of us straight towards the turf marker and trying to take control of that. Alex puts a lot of his guys straight in. My flesh construct, I thought we were going to be okay down there, but having not read the cards for McMorning and his crew, they completely annihilated me on the poison side of things. Okay, so if you've not played against McMorning before, one thing to look out for, especially if you rely on your flesh constructs being heavily poisoned, is expunge. Basically, this attack, this casting action, causes the model to suffer the amount of damage to its current poison level. And Alex got a grip of this very early on and put a load more poison on top of my flesh construct, who was just brutalised by it, absolutely brutalised by it. Okay, so after the expunge business, I decided to try and ignore the bottom half of the table there and take my guys on the far route round and try and get to the entourage objective, taking my punk zombies up to fend Nicodeme there. And after seeing the little canine remains up there, I thought I'm going to have a go at him. Okay, so I've got Mortimer down the bottom side of the table there. He's basically just trying to dig up bones and bring corpse markers onto the table. And I think I managed to bring a hanged on and get that involved and try and muck up his lines a bit. To be honest, it didn't do particularly well. Mainly because the cards I was flipping for it were particularly poor. But it did sort of dominate that side of the table and that side of the board even, and help separate his forces a bit. So now I'm going to use my punk zombies. I'll go straight into the canine remains, using they've got 2 inch reach. The canine remains only got 1, so I'm thinking, right, I can do some damage here and finish it off, but no such luck. So at this point, I'm thinking I've really got to pull something out of the bag here. Alex seems to have a very good grasp of his crew straight away. He's got Sebastian now into my flesh construct, who was already heavily wounded. There's no one really around to help him out. It's not a great deal I could do down there, so the flesh construct does go to Sebastian's buzzsaw there. So all I had to really do is just try and get those corpse markers on the table. Unfortunately, it took me 2 punk zombies to get that canine remains off the table. But at least now I can start bringing some minions in, and I can start really causing some havoc. But if you can just see to the bottom left of the corpse marker there, you can see a little a base size there heading towards my punk zombies. That's a zombie chihuahua, and I didn't realise it was such a pain. So I managed to bring up a crook man where the canine remains used to be, but it's now poisoned. It's poisoned because of the zombie chihuahua, which has charged into my punk zombie, and it's just expunging and chucking poison wherever it goes. And again, I just couldn't seem to get rid of it. So this was probably the only mistake I think Alex really made. He decided to charge McMorning straight into Nicodeme, and I still had a few soul stones left, and I've got some guys down the bottom there. Although the zombie chihuahua was giving me trouble to get rid of, I don't know why, but it was going to be gone the next round. and he's all on his own up there. That was the problem, I think, for McMorning. He was all on his own up there. That being said, the bottom end of the table with Flesh Construct, Sebastian, and the nurses are really dominating. He's dropping scheme markers down. I'm really struggling to see where I'm going to be able to make a dent down there. So I've sort of given up down there, and I'm just focusing on the top end of the board and trying to keep control of the turf marker as much as I can. Mortimer's doing some work for me, which is great. I think he does take Sebastian out, and a couple more corpse markers go down. But I say the main problem for Alex is McMorning's all on his own at the top there, and I can just put charge after charge after charge into him. A lot of his soul stones are gone. It's not a great deal he can do. Okay, so this is really where it starts to go wrong for McMorning. He's trying to take on Nicodeme one by one on his own, and as I say, I'm able to just chuck zombies, monsters, and all sorts just after him. Every time something dies, I'm able to bring it back, and it's just constant. And he's got no soul stones left at this point. Although he is still sort of just holding on and holding on. And like I say, at the bottom of the table, I'm now starting to make a dent, and the guys are dropping. Sebastian's now gone. I mean, he tried to go over, I think, to make his way to McMorning and help him out, which is why you see the corpse marker just to the top left of Mortimer. But unfortunately, he had too much damage on him already, and he just could not get to McMorning to help him out. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the game now. McMorning is there, but he's hanging on. I'm basically bringing up monster after monster after monster, zombie after zombie, just to keep chucking it into him and keep the pressure on top of him. He's slowly whittling the wounds down. The wounds are slowly going, but he's still hanging on. He does separate his guys off a bit. I mean, the two nurses now completely spread off, and he's trying to drop some scheme markers down and get the line in the sand. It's a bit late in the day, but it was worth a go. The dice at the top, ignore that, is meant to be a turn counter. We forgot about it. I think we're on like turn 4, whatever at this point. But so I've managed to now bring up some more guys. I can afford to send some guys down towards the Flesh Construct and start bringing him down. He's nearly on the way out. Mortimer's uses his favourite shovel, I think, and finishes him off, which is great news for everyone. So this is pretty much the end of the game here. McMorning dies to a load of mindless zombies, which of course Nicodeme brings up, and it's a Nicodeme win, but a very good game, very close game. I think it could have gone either way. It's really from that point where I was struggling with the canine remains, and I think if more Alex's guys gone that way, could have gone a different way and could have been a very different game. Okay, so that's the end of the game. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you some pictures of McMorning and his good mate Sebastian. Great fun game again with Alex. He's a great sport. I'm hoping he learned a lot more about the game. I say it was one of his first games, and he's still trying to get grips of the rules and how different crews work. So I'm hoping that did help. And if any of you do fancy coming down to Selwood and having a game, drop me a message, and we'll try and get something organised for you. So thanks again, and hope you enjoyed it.